What's going on, everybody? It's your buddy, it's your pal Spaz Phoenix, the YWC Reality Check. This is your NXT Heatwave and AAA Ola de Calor preview, and that is Jake fucking DeMarco, and we are tired.
Yes, indeed. Tired, cut, and stitched. But above all else, we're here and we're ready to tear this down because, both shows I am immensely excited for. AAA a little bit less, obviously, because some of it is more thrown together. This really isn't their big show. They're building to,
To Triple
obviously.
Mania, yeah.
Yeah. But it's still important. I
Yep.
admit
And
that.
I mean, let's be real. Like, they had to split it over two different platforms, but this is basically AAA and NXT getting together and doing a show.
Yes, it's Heatwave and Heatwave
Yeah, I was gonna say
in
Ola de Calor,
Spanish.
which is just Spanish Heatwave. It's like
That
all the
means
people
it's
over on the Wrestling for
caliente.
Life.
It's
All the people in the
spicy.
Wrestling for Life chat that you call Raquel Rodriguez Spanish Rachel.
Ooh, there we go.
All right, so we
Or a
have.
few what culture people being super spicy,
Oh,
You can have.
fuck's sake. Okay. Oh, I don't have the time to do it tonight. Remind me tomorrow when we have something else special coming up, and I will discuss that. We don't have
Mhm.
time tonight. We've got a little under an hour and a half to talk about 12 matches. And no, this is not even put on by Tony Khan. There's your
No.
hint for tomorrow.
Tint tint.
Fantastic. The AAA stuff's going to be relatively quick because I've got thoughts, but they're pretty quick thoughts. We've got a
Yeah.
gauntlet match to determine the new number one contender for Flamer's Reina de Reinas title.
Mhm.
All the participants are TBD, so we don't really have
Yeah,
anything to
there's
go
there's
on.
no real
It's
prediction
good.
there. That was one of the things I was mentioning off here. And admittedly, for forthcoming sake, I think like 3 episodes behind at this point. So, because
Oh
every
yeah,
Saturday there's been like continually something. So,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So
the wrestling
I
fans have been
usually
eating good.
catch
Let's be
it
real for a
before
second.
whatever they do. I go ahead and watch it in like a
Yeah,
big block, and I'll do uno,
yeah,
dos, tres, cuatro. And
yeah.
that's kind of the plan here. But lately, it's been
I've been,
good, but
dude. I've been doing the same
inconsequential.
thing. I've been doing the same thing with MLP. I know there's good stuff coming. I know Priscilla Kelly's there. I know Shotzi's there. I know Josh Alexander came back. I just haven't caught up yet. But it's like, all
Yeah.
right,
I do that
everybody
with
from
AEW. I
everywhere.
do that with JCW. There's a lot of shows where I'm like,
There's
later on, if
no
I'm not
point in
reviewing it live, I will go
there's no
ahead
point
and
in
go
catching up
back
on
to it.
AEW though. We're gonna
There's
talk
not.
about it tomorrow.
Yes.
There's your not so subtle hint.
No, and I
Um,
mean realistically, we don't even need to be watching Raw live or SmackDown anymore. And SmackDown's taped this week, and
mm,
spoilers are spoiler-tastic, but still, I mean, it's just
you know what it
they're
is though,
they're doing
like,
something,
but
but they're mishandling a lot of people right now too. So
there's not a and here's where people get into like the Fed brain conversation. Like, not everything hits in WWE. Obviously, if you expect everything to hit, then you expect the show to be written just for you, and then you're an asshole. But like, WWE has, like, there is a positive version of WWE has the template, and it's a template I like. Like, not even specific one specific story or one specific
no,
show or one
no,
specific
there's
anything. Like, obviously it breaks out when you do
it's all of it.
AAA
Yeah.
stuff or when it's NXT stuff. But like Raw and SmackDown, even if I know it's going to be a bad SmackDown or an interesting SmackDown, shall we say, I'm still going to watch it because it's my weekly Friday dose of that template. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, and
Yes.
that might be giving them a ton of credit that they may or may not deserve at this moment. I had a lot of fun at SmackDown, just putting that one out there. We'll talk about
Mhm.
that on another day when we have more time.
You got
But
a good episode as well, so that was
I
a
did,
overall
yeah.
enjoyable experience. It was stacked with a
Creepy,
lot of star
creepy,
power.
creepy lady on the bus, sanding her feet. Don't do it. Anyways,
Oh,
getting back to
yeah,
the gauntlet
no.
match, it's going to be like Catalina, unless there is a surprise. The only thing that could be a surprise, and I would love it because other companies are salivating at what they think is so defined and clear and what have you. I would love the gauntlet to have a surprise entrant of Bailey, and that's how we find out she's not actually leaving WWE. And then Bailey goes and
Ooh,
challenges for the Reina de Reinas at Triple Mania.
that would be
But
great. Some people said that
that
she's staying now, that they heard opposite of every rumor that's been out there, and now she is staying in
if she is,
WWE. So,
if she is, and all the like little hints that she's put out on Instagram have just been trolling, I'm going to cackle like a witch, like a cartoon witch from the
like a
worst cartoon you've ever
schoolgirl.
seen. It'll be fine. But that surprise notwithstanding, I'm going with La Catalina because
Yeah.
it's
We don't know
pretty
anybody
damn
else,
obvious.
and it seems like
Well, Lola
that's
Vice, it's worth noting Lola Vice is debuting on Raw at that Raw that they're doing in Mexico, where
yes, the
they're also doing
14th.
the winner of the tournament versus Roman Reigns, which is going to be Penta because it's obvious. Although Rey Fenix versus Roman Reigns would be something really weird to look at. I'm going to go with La
It would be
Catalina
cool.
because I don't know. They haven't. They've brought in interesting ladies into the AAA side of things that I've never seen before. They've also brought in a lot from NXT with Lola Vice. I thought Lola Vice was going to get the Reina de Reinas title, but it is what it is. Spaz gets to be wrong once again.
I
Um,
thought so as
it's
well, so
it's a
that
1 hour
kinda seemed
show.
like a lock, honestly.
Yeah,
Um,
it's a 1 hour show, and where it falls down is the women's division. And it's now under the umbrella of WWE that produces NXT, which is like well known primarily for its women's division. So that's like, to be fair, like we try to be that, like they got to step that up. I've seen some luchadors. I'd like to see some luchadoras. It's
yeah,
fine.
no kidding.
My
And
criticism is going to continue.
what kind of my criticism is like it's
Okay.
become the all lucha hour only because they have nothing to fill the time past Sunday night's main event. So they have
Mm.
gone ahead and, branched outwards, but I felt like they did it in a way that was not
Are you talking about
a
the stuff on
waste.
Raw?
Yes, but it's a little bit disingenuous, and it's like, "Oh, now our luchadors matter," kind of thing, which is how it's gonna be done. I get it. I'm kind of being hypocritical by nature. I understand that. You can't have your
Yeah.
cake and eat it too there, but I
I think it's not the fact that they didn't just say, okay, luchadors are popular now, so we'll just throw them all over Raw and everything like that.
yeah,
They're
there was a
promoting their
purpose of
new
them there. Yeah.
yeah, they're promoting their new acquisition, but they did it in a way that makes sense. They're going to be doing a Raw in Mexico. Why not have a well-known luchador? It's gonna be Penta go up
Yes,
against Rey
the
Mysterio.
the end
Um,
byproduct of it is, it's not like
mm,
it's this big, like I said, it's very inconsequential. It's not a big to do, but I feel like in the long run, they would have gotten better reactions for AAA being involved had they actually
mm.
gone ahead and put a bit more effort into it, is basically what I'm
It
going
doesn't
with.
it doesn't feel quite as sewn up, but I'm not gonna lie, because I've chosen to hop on board, I don't mind AAA kind of being out here on an island as this, like, little 1 hour thing that you can watch if you feel like it. That's just me, though.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a lot of people that would say the same thing about, NXT because NXT is kind of a boat floating the other way from the main roster. Now, where my bigger criticism comes in, I don't know who they're putting in the gauntlet match. I do know who they're putting in the tag match, and this is one of those situations where it's a AAA match for a AAA title, and it's 4 main roster WWE guys. I mean, let's
Yes.
be real about Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne for a second. It's
Um,
gonna be a lot of fun, the Americanos versus the War Raiders.
you don't think
Um,
the Americanos have a shot?
I definitely think the Americanos have a shot, but I'm just saying it's 4 main roster WWE guys, 2 of them just happen to be in masks,
Yes.
and it's one of the things propping up your AAA show. "Hey, we brought AAA
Oh,
over
okay.
the border, it's
I
doing like."
misunderstood how you meant it. Again, it's tied in
Oh,
here,
okay.
but I get what your point is. So, yeah, because
Mm.
the way you said main roster, I took it as, yeah, the War Raiders not being, yeah, because as Los Americanos, they have gone
They've
ahead
existed everywhere,
and,
yeah.
yeah, they've managed to, yeah, be all over, and it's been an interesting ride for them. We've wanted
Yeah.
better, and
I
it's like,
enjoy them. I
hey,
enjoy them in these
I
characters.
I do as well. I'm just saying I
Yeah.
felt like for so long they were only doing the henchman role. So now that they've branched out in AAA and they're able to do their own thing in a way where like, hey, we're also the tag champs. It's the same thing with Vanity Project and like it's
Mm.
always been Jackson Drake this and so now that they're
I
giving,
will say they
Baylor and Smokes a chance.
very similar with, the LWO guys, Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wild, who are just kinda like LWO is just a tag team now, and that
Yeah.
tag team exists. Like, they've really branched out, like, they've got their relationship with Rey Mysterio and that kind of thing, but they just kind of exist. I mean, Joaquin Wild is basically gone back to being DJZ, which is
Yes.
fantastic.
Which is
Um,
hilarious. But
but it's
like
but,
Santos Escobar dealt with a lot of awful stuff that I really wasn't aware of when he got let go. And
really?
obviously we knew he was injured, but he basically compared it to, the trash bag incident that Mickey had.
Oh dear.
So
Oh dear.
that's not ideal. That's a rough
It's
go of
not.
it, certainly. And that was also, I don't want to be like, oh, the before time, but things have certainly changed drastically since then.
In the before time, in the long, long ago.
Yes. I'm glad you got that.
Oh,
And it's
Jesus.
been
Oh, but
something
don't you
to
know
to witness.
he's still secretly there, Jake, behind the scenes. He's still
What?
pulling the strings.
He's got he's
Okay, but
got
he's
all
not
the
though.
control. Everything in creative is his. Yeah. I believe he
Mhm.
has ears and eyes everywhere, certainly. I mean, Bruce Pritchard is still there. No
Okay,
kidding. He's
his son-in-law runs the place. His friends are
yes.
still there. He's gonna
His
know what's
daughters in
going
in
on.
the, it's like, come on, be realistic here. But
Yeah, he's not gonna put himself in a bubble. Hmm. But I
I
don't know what that
just,
sound
but
was. To be
basically,
honest with you.
it all comes down to the fact of like, yeah, they've got Vince out as much as he can be,
Mm.
and that's really all there is to it. So,
We're gonna talk about
um,
them later on because I think they're a very
yeah,
interesting element for TNA or for AAA. Sorry, TNA. Still thinking about the pod last week with Tony. Shout out to Tony
yes,
for joining us for the TNA stuff in AAA.
and what a
I
show!
think it was a show. It was a
Lethal
freaking
Lockdown ended
fantastic
up
show.
being really good and a
Yeah,
lot better than I ever envisioned it would be. When we did the predictions, I was like, it'll be a good. It from top to bottom was
it was
so
a really good show. Yeah.
good. I didn't get
Yeah.
tired of the
Kira Hogan coming back
cage
was
match.
awesome.
I
AJ,
liked Avery.
Avery Styles.
Yeah.
I wonder if anybody's going to be bothering him to put up chairs and blah 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 blah. blah. Anyways, indie mentality is
Have
what it is.
you set up the bingo hall, Avery?
I want him. I told you this. I said this in the chat, and I think I might have said it on another pod. The first match he has, I want him to stop in the on the entranceway and just set up a couple of chairs just for the ha ha of it, and then immediately throw his first opponent into it. It's probably going to be Kaz. Let's be real for a second.
And you know the man that
Um,
criticized him. You know who that is, correct?
I don't.
So
I,
long,
I've
long
heard the
ago
name, but
in the other before times, you
in the
recall
other
the
long
Dark
ago.
Order man that went ahead and punched the ground repeatedly
Oh
when
my fucking god!
whipping those punches back at the time where Tony had to take over creative entirely.
Yeah. It's
That
funny because
that
that's
was
one
that
of those
individual
things.
playing the extra creeper. The guy whiffing and punching the ground is the one criticizing AJ
And see, to be
son.
fair, I want to be fair for a second because that guy from then until now has come under a lot of scrutiny. Yeah, like it's a goofy thing. It happened. Like goofy shit happens all the time. Should he have gotten as much as he got? No. But holy fuck, it was funny.
It was. And I mean to
It
really
was.
like
And if he
I
could have
guess he
rolled with it,
feels
like
like he runs all of the wrestling in that area, even though like it's only one promotion and people are kind of sick of his bullshit. So a lot of
he
people were
pays
like,
all
you
his
know what?
wrestlers in used underwear, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it was kind of a weird thing, but
It's a very weird thing. And it's one of those, it's a catch 22. And I'm going to say this really quickly and then we'll get back on the tracks. It's a catch 22 of, I know that on the indie level, like it's a team effort. Everybody has to work and everybody has to like pitch in, there's no I in team, all that kind of stuff. I'm all for that mentality. But this whole, oh, we think you're a Nepo baby, so prove you're not and set up our tables. Like, fuck off.
yeah, who the fuck do you think you are?
And it continues. It continues what you and me and Tony were talking about last week
Yeah.
of TNA has a very good habit of picking up people that are getting shit on by other people. Trey Miguel is still the most dominant example in my mind. Tessa Blanchard, a different kind of way, but in the same kind of way. This guy made a headline for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Was catching all kinds of shit. And it's like, if he
So
wasn't AJ
unnecessary.
Styles' kid, nobody would care. If he
Exactly.
wasn't AJ Styles' kid, nobody would have cared, and it never would have been an issue. So
No.
that's the downside of, oh, your dad is in the business. I bet he got you in. It's like, yeah, but there's also this. There's
Yeah.
also everything Charlotte Flair dealt with. Like
Exactly.
this
You
and
get it.
still deals with from some people.
The
But
nympho
anyways,
baby thing.
oh, let's talk about that in a second. But yeah,
When
War
we get
Raiders, Los
there.
Americanos. The nicest thing I can say about this is I'm really looking forward to this match, and I feel like it's happening in the wrong place.
It is happening in the wrong place, but the Americanos are winning, and I feel like it's also going to build towards Triple Mania. Maybe they do get it at Triple Mania, but I feel like it kind of Dom's dropping that title, so
I
I feel
feel
like El
like
Grande's getting it, and that's all
yeah,
there is to it, baby. Like, it's
I feel
going
like
to
I
happen.
feel like the War Raiders retain because we are not that it's necessarily going to be for the titles, but they already announced it ages ago that you're going to see the reunion of Ray Phoenix and Penta as the Lucha Brothers at Triple Mania doing something. The
Yeah,
Lucha Brothers versus the War Raiders is going to be a lot if that's the way they go.
I'm looking
Um,
forward to it.
on the other side of the coin, I would love to see now that Perros Del Mal has become a thing, a little bit of personnel shift within the group, but they've still got Angel and Berto in there. Angel and Berto still criminally underrated, in my
Oh,
opinion.
yeah, that's why we have the
Um,
Berto alarm, you know?
yeah, but the throw them in the mix. And I'm sorry, because Penta is already having a problem with Perros Del Mal anyway, have them win the titles at some point. Like have Rayo and Bravo maybe win this weekend and then immediately get swamped by Perros Del Mal. They pick them up like the next week. Like do a little bit of hot potato is okay type of thing. And
Yeah,
then you
exactly.
build on the Lucha Brothers versus Perros Del Mal, and it takes form of a tag team title match at Triple Mania. That I think that would be a lot of fun because not only like the Lucha Brothers being together in WWE technically is happening this weekend in a trios match, but as a tag team, functioning as a tag team is going to be a huge deal. And I think the people that deserve to be on the other side of that, even though they're going to lose, is Angel and Berto because,
Yeah,
as
no,
I said, they're like insanely underrated in my opinion. They're not always setting the world on fire, but they're so fucking solid. Anyways, right
absolutely.
now, I am going to go with the War Raiders. I said that they are main roster WWE guys in AAA, but I kind of like it too because they're so different. Um, you're down in the land of the luchadors, and then the two big fucking monsters come in and they're playing that role very well. And they're kind of just being like they're not we're Vikings.
Yeah, they're
Like
just being badasses.
they're just kind of being dicks about it, which is
Yeah.
even better. Um but yeah, War Raiders for me. We have the debut. We got another TBD. We got El Carnicero debuting against TBA. El Carnicero is their knockoff Texas Chainsaw Massacre guy
Yes.
that's been
You know how
bothering.
Mexico loves it's just like Memphis. They love their copyright infringement gimmicks and they love their
Yeah.
horror stuff. So,
Oh, like British Indies having like blue cane and cocaine and
yes,
shit like
exactly.
that.
Like they have
But like,
the
okay,
silly parodies, they go for horror parodies. So,
but
not
again,
horror. I know Cody's used to
yes.
all right.
Anyways, shout out to Cody. I'm not touching that with a 10-foot clown
I'm not
pole.
touching that
I'm
with
the
a
kind of
6 foot
guy.
or a
I'm the
seven
kind of
inch.
guy. I'm the kind of guy that when I walk into a room, I've already been there 10 minutes.
Ah,
Anyways, so he's been popping up in the crowd, attacking Psycho Clown, which is awesome. So whoever he's squashing in this TBD match is going to set up him versus Psycho Clown at Triple Mania. Thanks, Brain.
yes.
Um, but I think it's going to be a larger thing of like Pagano sort of had a falling out with the Psycho Circus, and this is the guy that he's brought in. And it's very much like, okay, if we're all doing the clown thing, if we're all doing the circus parodies, here's my friend from the freak show, like that kind of idea. And I think so you'll get a squash, you'll get an attack from Psycho Clown, and then you'll get the reveal that El Carnicero was actually brought in by Pagano, and you'll get some tag team stuff out of that big guy, little guy uh, stuff out of that, which I think will be fantastic.
Yeah, this
The two
guy
big, the two
supposedly
big
is
guys.
very, very fun to watch in the ring, and he looks very like convincing and
He's
dominant.
in. He's in Evolve as like his normal self, isn't he?
Yes, yes. So that's
I
where I
haven't
was
watched any
watching some of
Evolve in
his
a long
matches,
time.
and he
Yeah.
looks like it's like a masked Braun Strowman, just a little bit smaller in a way, if that
Okay.
makes any kind of sense. Like
Okay.
he looks very intimidating, and it's gonna be fun if they execute it well. And I could see Raw stealing this, the main roster in some way. They'd be like, "Oh, we gotta,"
Oh, Psycho Circus is going to the main roster at some point. Like we
Yes,
haven't really still had yet a what you would call a triple A call up, but I think Psycho Circus as a whole would be a lot of fun. The two big guys, and I think it's Murder Clown and Panic Clown, were operating as a tag team last Saturday. And dude, like take out the fact that I like the Pagano and Psycho Clown stuff. These guys are hustling around, and very, very impressive, if I do say so myself. But then again, it's the creepy stuff. And like I say, even with this, the El Carnicero here, yeah, is it knockoff Mankind, knockoff Texas Chainsaw Massacre? Yes. Do I care? Absolutely
Is that a
fucking not.
bad thing?
No, we're gonna get a monster squash, and it's gonna be great.
Exactly.
It's gonna be Spanish Abyss. That's what it's gonna be. It's got all the abyssness.
Absolutely. That's a great comparison.
Yeah.
So,
R.I.P. to Bray Wyatt, but this is a guy that could have been in the Wyatt family, right along with
absolutely.
Brody and Rowan. R.I.P. again. Okay, so El Carnicero versus TBD. Well, the prediction is he's going to squash whoever the TBD is, unless the TBD is Psycho Clown, because then you get the story right in front of you instead of the afters. But I think if it was Psycho Clown, they would have just said that. Fatal 4-way with the most obvious of results. La Parca, El Fiscal, El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr., and Damian Priest for the vacant AAA Latin American Championship, because Vikingo is injured and he had to give up the championship right after he won it.
Yeah.
This is a vehicle to properly introduce Damian Priest to AAA. Like, don't really have much else to say.
No, I'm right there with you. Sadly, not much to offer here for this
I'm looking
match
forward
card
to
and
it.
show. Yeah, I think it'll be good, but
I'm looking forward to it. I really like El Fiscal and Abismo Negro Jr., like, that are mirror images of each other. They're doing the good version of hologram and clone.
yeah.
I like watching those guys because they're like, they've got the early like Rob Van Dam effect of, remember when we had like cruiserweights and then Rob Van Dam came in and it's like, he's not a cruiserweight, but he's doing cruiserweight stuff. Their feud has a bit of that to it. El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. I would rather see tag teaming with his brother more, because him and Galeno as a tag team, again, monsters, the bigger guys from the Psycho Circus.
Yes.
These guys, the War Raiders, you could almost have a super heavyweight tag team division at this point. That's fine.
Pretty much.
Don't worry about it. And people are upset
yeah.
that La Parca is not the real La Parca. And it's like, La Parca's fun. Fuck off. He's not winning, so what do you care?
Exactly.
He just lost to Penta in the tournament. He's going to lose to Damian Priest here. I'm actually predicting La Parca is going to be the one to take the pin, because the other two extra guys in this match have stuff going on and La Parca doesn't.
Yeah, he's the one that's like really just out there dancing, shucking and jiving, but not really too busy. So,
hey, have you heard about the Halloween costumes at Target?
yeah,
Anyways, moving swiftly on. No, and it's horrible that it's going to come off really bad when I say this, but he is the disposable one in this match.
yeah. No, you're totally
But
right.
it's not to say that he's.
But
not
that's not always
like,
the worst role either.
No.
And you're like, oh, you say that for AEW, and that's not no, because AEW, at least he gets featured in prominent spots. He was just on Raw. He has been, AEW just forgets about you entirely.
I'll say it again. MJF is in a battle royal.
Yeah.
Moving
when
on.
he was
Here's the match.
originally facing Ospreay, and then it was supposed to be Mick fucking Foley, and now, like, come on.
We're not going to have the Mick Foley conversation. I don't want to get my channel torn. It's fine. It's a good thing I'm on Rumble. Subscribe on Rumble. The one match that I didn't know until I went on Wiki earlier today, because it turns out Rey Mysterio announced it on socials. It didn't even happen on the show, but we're getting a number one contender match for Rey Fenix's AAA Cruiserweight Championship. Hold on. Wait a minute. Got to stop for a second.
Yes.
You saw NXT this week, right?
Yes, sir. Excellent show.
How
decent,
fucking,
I should say,
how
less of a
fucking good was Rey Fenix and EK Prosper?
That's what I was referring to. Yes, that match was fucking extremely, just beyond impressive. The caliber at which they are able to compete still, and after multiple matches and everything throughout the week that Rey has done, because I mean he's wrestled his ass off. And he never, ever, ever misses a beat. It's impressive.
Well, he was up here in Canada for Raw, and
that's what I'm saying.
All the way to America.
Yeah.
America.
down to good old Florida for
Anyway,
NXT, and then he's been in AAA, and then he's been on SmackDown,
but you know what it is, right? And I want to give the credit to EK Prosper as well, though, right? Because NXT is in a pretty small studio type of environment, right?
yeah,
Very rarely, it happens sometimes with large characters. It happens with some of the people we're going to talk about later on. They had a match that made me forget, you know, in the body of the match anyway. Obviously, like reality comes back in afterwards. They had a match that made me forget where the match was happening.
yes,
And
absolutely,
I think it was fucking fantastic. And I know that they're going to have Ray Phoenix drop the title before they put him with Penta. I'm pretty sure that's. I mean, they're pushing Chad Gable anyway, but I think that has a lot to do with Chad Gable picking up the IC title off of Penta as well.
yes,
So clear their path and clear their wastes for those tag titles because they'll be hood ornaments of the brand, right?
yeah.
But the triple threat match we're getting for a number one contender shot at that AAA Cruiserweight Championship is Mini Vikingo, Jack Cartwheel, and Nathan Frazier.
So I want Nathan Frazier to win this. He's the one that
Mm,
I am enjoying the most, obviously, out of the three. I
mm,
really feel like he's got the most star power, but
mm.
also he will offer the most for the champ in the ring.
True. I'm looking at it kind of a little bit more callously. Jack Cartwheel is very much in the Laparca situation here. Like he's the disposable one in this case. I really like Jack Cartwheel. I didn't know very much about him until he hit Evolve and then came over to AAA. So, kudos to them for that. But he's also just a guy that's there to have a good match with whoever is on the show that needs to have a good match.
Yeah,
So I think he's,
exactly.
to his credit, I think he's going to be the glue of the match, but they're pushing Mini Vikingo something crazy. And for that audience specifically, I know this is happening in Texas, but whenever the actual title match is happening, is probably happening in Mexico. I think that they are going to absolutely salivate over the idea of Mini Vikingo versus Ray Phoenix.
Yeah,
Not that
I
Nathan
don't
Frazier
dispute
wouldn't be
that.
great, but Nathan Frazier and Ray Phoenix have already gone back and forth on
Yeah,
SmackDown, so it's not
I
not that everything
it's
has to
not
be
that it's
new
not
all the
new.
time, but it's not
Yeah,
new.
it's not
And it's
new.
like when we
I
talk
just
about,
think they're
yeah.
gonna do something with Cartwheel soon, just not yet.
Mm,
And I'm probably wrong, but I just feel like Frazier's the bigger star for Triple Mania. Like, you know what I mean? They could really
mm,
build the match, and even if
yeah.
they get a
It
rematch on it, like
depends.
something. So
This is going to be a conversation we have later on down the line. It's like
yes,
it's going to be very interesting to see because it's a two-night event, which matches end up on the American episode and which matches end up on the Mexico episode. Because we know
yeah,
that Grande and Dom is going to be on night two in Mexico at the USB, whatever it is, arena.
yeah,
And then the MGM Grand is where the night one has moved because it outgrew the place that it was previously being hosted in, which is awesome and fantastic news. But if this match is happening
yeah. Go
in
figure.
Mexico, yeah, Nathan Frazier, like big name from WWE, like does give it an extra bit of
Oomph,
something, but for
legitimacy.
the crowd, that's been sitting there week after week, seeing the push that Mini Vikingo has gotten and some of the
Yeah,
crazy shit that he's done. And oh, by the way, his opponent is Ray Phoenix.
yeah, no doubt about it. Like that's a big to do. I'm not arguing with it. I see why, but
If only AEW had like pushed spot fests. I mean, like it's right there for you. Anyways, I'm an asshole. It's fine. The main event is kind of predictable as well, but I like Perros Del Mal. I like Daga, Angel, and Birdo. Bronco Nima went from OTM to Perros Del Mal to back to OTM showing up on Raw with Royce Keys.
da-da-dun.
I think they. Somebody asked me what they should call the faction now that they're up on Raw. I think you should call them the Hobnobs. I'm an asshole. It's
I
fine,
like it though.
but there's no way they're beating Dragon Lee and the Lucha Brothers. Like that's not a thing unless they
Mm,
bring in like
probably
five or
not.
six, five or six more new members. Carmen Petrovic on the outside.
Yeah,
Um, actually, Lola Vice coming out in the corner of the Lucha Brothers and Dragon Lee for like a final farewell type thing to AAA before showing up on Raw would be a nice little, like, I'm not going to get involved in the match, but I'll make sure Carmen doesn't either.
Yeah.
And they're there. Let's be real for a second as well. It's a AAA show, but it's happening in the same arena as an NXT show. It's going to be a predominantly NXT crowd, I would assume.
I'm assuming as
Not,
well.
yeah, not that they're not going to appreciate the AAA stuff, but it's a here's one ticket, have two shows type of
Yeah,
thing.
exactly.
I predict that somebody will either with them at the beginning for a nice pop or somewhere throughout the match where Carmen is going to get involved, somebody will come down. And maybe that's when you get your surprise Bailey return. Because,
Possibly.
if we want to talk about, it's not quite Javon Evans, but those three guys are pretty bouncy, and Bailey also. Yeah. Bailey out there doing the ALS challenge for Rebels. So shout out
Which
to
is
her for
great.
that, and shout out to that top that was holding on for dear life, moving swiftly on. AAA is going to
Yeah,
be a lot of fun.
it is
I do
indeed.
think it's going to suffer from an extended feeling of this is a 6-match kickoff for Heatwave,
Yeah, I mean
but you
that
can't really
is
avoid that.
really no, you can't avoid that from happening. That's what's happening just because of the way they've had to build it, I guess, just to
But
compete. But
it is like, to be fair, to be real for a second, if I lived in Texas, there's no way I'm not going to this show because that's your
oh, I
full day of
know.
wrestling.
I mean
And
the
luckily,
entire day.
the entire day, like, it's a good thing there's nothing else happening that. That's all I'll say. Gee, what podcast are we doing tomorrow?
Dun, dun,
Guys, okay, here's what it
dun.
is. I'm being an asshole, but it's self-promotion. As long as the world doesn't come and kick us in the nuts, you guys are listening to this live on Friday. If you tune in again on Saturday, as long as schedules stay what they are, we will be bringing in 2026's edition of the yearly tradition that is AEW All in the Mud, aka What the Fuck Is This Show 2026. So stay tuned. I'm going to be putting it on whatever time I need to so that it's over by the time AAA starts Saturday.
Yeah,
If AAA is happening on Saturday. I haven't checked the schedule. It's
I
very
believe it is
tired in
still.
here.
I thought so. And then Raw and SmackDown are taped next week, so.
Speaking of things that bounce, I'm an asshole. It's fine.
The creme de
Switching
la
gears
creme.
over. Oh, I'm gonna be creaming for sure.
Mm.
I'm gonna do the Big Nick. Hi, Miss Parker. Anyways, we start off Heatwave predictions with Jada Parker taking on Natty, and I know everybody goes Natty. I don't care. This is gonna be really fucking good.
It is
Submission
going to be
match.
damn good.
Yep.
Jada Parker needs to win this one to
Yes.
go ahead and just really seal the deal of everything she's trying to accomplish with this character. And that's a submission match. What a great way to be put over by Natty Neidhart, the sharpshooter, all that jazz. That's what's happening.
Yep.
I don't see it going another way. I mean, you never know. They could surprise us and keep it going for more, but that I think would be foolish. So.
I'm not gonna. Maybe I haven't asked you this before. And maybe I'm on an island. I don't mind Natty just kind of hanging out in NXT and just getting into it with whoever.
Yeah.
Because they never really use her for anything top notch.
No.
On the main roster. Like,
And
they even tried the Natty gimmick and all that kind of thing.
I'd rather see her be
but
used than not at all. So
yeah, when they did it on the main roster, it's so, like, people say WWE is like really, really on the nose with everything, and it's kind of true sometimes. They treated like her being either Natalya or Natty like it was Finn Balor turning into the Demon. Like,
yes, and let's be honest, she was either farting all the time,
oh, no.
Early on, or she was going ahead and doing pretty much fuck all, and that was the sad part.
She was doing weird cat stuff for a bit and make all the metaphors out of that you want.
And that was really
Jada
bizarre.
Parker. Getting back to Jada for a second, I'm kind of just with the way that the crowd has kind of adopted her, because the crowd doesn't adopt even though it's NXT. Oh my god, they've got a paid crowd, whatever. I don't care, but the crowd loves Jada Parker.
Jada Parker. Yeah, they're behind her as they're singing everybody's name now. But
I'm kind of surprised that she didn't get call up instead of Lola Vice. I kind of thought Lola Vice had more to do in AAA still. This is me just moving pieces around the chessboard, and that can always change, right?
Yeah,
But I thought I was like, how many podcasts in a row did I sit here and say, yeah, so she's going to be a mixed tag champ for a while. And then when they drop that, she's going to be the face of that division that doesn't
absolutely.
really have many other faces. It's fine. Don't worry about it. But instead, they've moved her to the main roster, and Jada Parker's still on NXT and not in the title picture either.
Yeah, funny enough, right?
Because
So,
there's certain people that will be popular, like, and I'm talking about like when you look at the main roster, you look at your Sami Zayn's, your Kevin Owens, your Randy Orton's, your those type of people that are like they're the main event of the show, whether they have a title or not, whether they're fighting for a title or not. Jada
exactly.
Parker, but Jada Parker is getting over, man. Like you see footage, I know it's just localized to that
But
area
no,
pretty
it's
much,
still
but like
mattering. She's getting over. She's
but the house
mattering to these
shows,
people. Yeah,
yeah,
it's a big
house
deal.
shows is what I'm talking about. Yeah, I am really okay. I'm very surprised, so shocked. Um, I'm surprised that she's not one of the ones that's had a trip over to TNA
Yeah,
because
I'm
her.
very surprised as well. I
Oh my
really
god!
thought
Now,
that would
now,
have been the
now,
case.
now that they have Kira Hogan back, which is awesome, by the way. Kira Hogan versus Jada Parker. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Just
You
make it an
know,
exhibition match at Bound for Glory. It's fine. It's fine.
That would
It's
be
absolutely
awesome.
fine.
I'm all
Thang's the
for it.
thing, and Javon Evans ain't the only thing that's bouncy. I've already used that joke. It's tired in here. Um,
Da-da-dun.
Jada Parker's going to win this, and it's going to be awesome. And Natty's going to make her like $1 million.
Yeah.
I think Jada Parker is going to put Natty in a sharpshooter.
Yep. I think you're right.
All right. I'm going to kind of combine the next two matches predictably because it's kind of one story. Miles Bourne, double champion right now. Does he walk out with one title, the other title, both titles, no titles?
No titles. I think Vandy Project is taking everything. They're getting the tag
Taking it
titles. They're getting
all.
because
Settle the
WWE
score.
does this so often too, where they give the entire faction all the belts, which kind of makes it feel a little bit obvious, especially the way they set it up. Tavion even like kind of telegraphed it to me, anyways, being like, "I don't know what I'd do if I ever lost this title. I
Yeah.
would probably kill you. I don't
It's
know. It
kind of a
seems
funny
like I'm gonna murder you." You know, like.
it's kind of funny the way wrestling math works though, because it shouldn't matter, and I don't even really know why it's funny as I'm saying it. But if you're right, then the story of Sunday is three guys stole three belts from two
Yes.
guys.
Yes. And
So
somehow, well, technically 3 guys in their new China. Yeah.
mm,
Mhm. Can't forget, Lockwood.
see, I here's the thing. Here's where the analysis is going to go right out the window because I have no justification for what I say. I think both titles stay exactly where they are. And it's not so much because they're necessarily all of a sudden paying attention to the tag team division, but I think that the whole double champ thing still carries weight to a certain kind of fan.
Yeah.
And NXT feels like okay, they've got a stack. They're starting to stack up the main event scene. I was going to say the main roster, the main event scene on NXT already, as we'll talk about in a second, but it feels like they're priming Miles Bourne as like this is the next guy that's going to make that step. And
Yes.
I don't think you make him take two L's on the same night, uh, based on that. Because I think at the same time, if Miles, I'm curious about the order as well. Because if the singles title is first and he loses and he's downtrodden and he's already had a match and that's why he gets pinned in the tag match and that leads to him and Tavion fighting again.
Mhm.
I mean, it'll give us another great match, but it's something we've already seen. And if they're not a tag team, as great as he is, if they're not a tag team, I don't know what Tavion Heights does.
Yeah. You're not wrong.
So I don't have a concrete reason why, but I think I mean, it's not just Miles Bourne's story, it's Miles and Tavion for the tag team title scenario. But
Yeah.
to simplify it, I think Miles Bourne walks out still a double champion on Sunday. That's kind of the boring answer, but I think they're putting something behind him. And to their credit, the Vanity Project, Mika and Jackson and Baylor and Smokes, the way their act works doesn't lose any effectiveness by them not coming home with everything tonight. In fact, like them pouting about it the next week on NXT and being even more petulant and even more grabby and having even more tantrums and getting smacked back to factory settings, haha, by Mika Lockwood in the back is probably going to build their character, not
Yeah.
build good character, but build the
But
kind of characters that they are.
yes.
I think those guys, as good as they are, I think they're fantastic. I'm gonna stop doing that now because it's very tired in here. I think as good as they are, I think they benefit from taking the double L, honestly.
Yeah.
And I can't really 100% quantify it. I'm trying, but I can't 100%. Yeah,
No, I feel
I've
what you're
already said
saying. So,
words are
um,
escaping me. It's
I
bad.
totally get what you're going for, but I do feel like Mika's their heater. They've got a good setup, a good plan, a good look on things, and I really feel like it's going to start to pay off. These
Mika
guys
turns
are,
on them, and like Mika and Miles Bourne are like the new big couple in
yeah,
NXT.
the big what, you know? Who?
Yeah, Miles can't hear, and she can't. Well, never mind.
Ah, da-da-da.
What's the thing from Jurassic Park? We needed to fill in the holes and complete the code. Um, yeah, it's the boring answer, but I think it's the answer we're getting. I don't think that the
Yeah,
matches are going to be boring
seems
because
like that's the
other
case of it.
than
Yeah.
let's just say this as well, right? Other than being a bunch of obnoxious twats, the Vanity Project are really fun to watch in the ring.
Yes.
Miles Bourne, like I say, is definitely like he's. I hate saying it like this because it seems like it's such a condescending way. He does feel like the project right now.
Yes.
And Tavion's the guy that's like running with him and is still amazing. But if you're watching the story, he ain't the story right now.
No.
So I remember when they tried to do like that whole big rivalry between Tavion and Ethan Page, and it's just like Ethan Page just has more character, and you're the guy in the ring with,
Yeah, it's like
which
you're
is
it.
terrible because he's fantastic. I don't know. Send Tavion Heights to AAA to fight. I don't know,
Exactly. Like
Grande Americano.
that would be exciting.
Just fuck it. Send Tavion Heights to Monday Night Raw and let him have like a 20-minute classic with Gable.
Would be fun.
Be a lot of fun. You know what else is going to be a lot of fun? It's going to be very sad, very heartbroken, very tragic. I'm going to look up at one particular title called the Speed title. I'm going to say it's so hard to say goodbye to
As they
yesterday.
finally go ahead.
Don't say finally, man. Womp
Finally.
womp.
It failed us, all right? It failed us as they did.
No. The Speed title is being eliminated, and it's not even Speed match. What are we doing? Nah, but in all seriousness, they're
You beat me
amalgamating
to it.
the.
Like they don't even care enough to end it on a speed match. You took the words out of my mouth. Yes, indeed.
But they're keeping the other one because it's just the kind of like dickhead ornament that somebody like Lexus King can.
Yeah, for now, I think it's
Because I don't even
going
think that
to.
I don't because for them to do the amalgamation on the other side, you have to believe that Miles Bourne gives a shit about the Speed title.
Yes, and that's the thing. He can't even pretend to at this point. He's just like, nope.
But here's the thing: like
I don't give two
WWE
shits.
doesn't do pre-shows, but like Speed title is pure like pre-show fodder.
That's what I thought they
I've
were
always
going to
said
do with it. Make it like a big deal and Evolve or something, but that was not the
I've always
case.
said I've always said that anybody who pretends that they're genuinely angry about the Speed title is acting because it's
Mm.
not on your screen long enough to get that angry about.
No, see, I got upset with it because I did enjoy it at first, and they just kept fucking it up in my eyes. Like it could have been something
You
bigger, and
didn't
they were
like the
just like,
one time that they made it a triple threat and it was like magically 7 minutes now.
that drove me nuts. But then they also, a lot of times with the booking, like everything had to be a tournament. They never let anything progress. It was
Mm.
just, I know it was supposed to be rushed, ha ha ha, but not in its
But that's how it
entirety.
was when it was on Twitter. It was like they established a champion,
Yeah.
brand new tournament resets.
I
You
guess I just
crown a
had
new
more hope for it when they
Yeah.
went to NXT. That was,
Yeah.
the way they explained bringing it in. It sounded like they were there was going to be some type of revolutionary change with it, and then they did less than they did with Twitter. So,
It's not like the other company where everybody that has a belt also says, "Hey, I have this one. Nice if I had another belt. 3 belts,
I
4
need a
belts,
couple
5
more.
belts. Get me some." Okay, here's a shout out to MDB in the chat. Get me some knee pads. I need 14 belts. Out
Stat.
there, Mercedes Monet with more forehead and less tits than me. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Here's the thing. I don't know if this is obvious or not. It seems very obvious to me. Zarya and Ren Sinclair are both.
You think so?
I think they're putting it on Callie Armstrong. I think Zarya without Sol Ruka has gotten like immediately more popular, which is a bummer because I really like Sol Ruka, so I don't want to be saying shit like that. And I think this is the where you would say maybe like belting up the entire Vanity Project all at once would be like a sort of a 1-2 like shocker thing. I think
Yeah.
your shocker, pause, on Sunday is Callie Armstrong picking up the new unified North American champion.
Okay.
Because I think you're gonna get Ren Sinclair out of that mix. She's gonna
Yeah.
stay on with whatever Kendall Gray is doing, and you're gonna get some more. The match that Zarya and Callie Armstrong had, like as the contender type match,
Yes.
championship eliminator or whatever they
It
call it
was
over there.
basically better than what they
It was
had for,
it was really good.
getting into the speed match setup.
It was really good. It was
So,
really fucking good.
I'm looking forward to what we see with Callie. I could see them giving it to her because they did immediately add her to the match, and it was an
Yeah,
interesting choice. It
yeah.
would make sense that she wins, but I'm gonna stick with Ren just because that's what I'm hoping for. Is it
Really?
likely?
Okay.
Probably less than, but I feel like Zarya, she said when she gets the speed title and all that, she gets to go ahead and relinquish the past that tortures her. So that's a very interesting point too. Like,
It
does
is an
this
interesting
let her,
thing, and I do
yeah,
think
finish it?
that this whole it's hard to act against nothing. And right now, Zarya's thing is, I'm going to be so much better now that Soul's not here. She
Yes.
doesn't have Soul to bounce that story off of. So the
No,
fact
and
that
it's hurting her.
I don't think it is though. I
I,
don't because the whole because you can convince yourself in your own mind that she thinks she pushed Soul Ruka out of NXT.
Yes, yeah,
You know what I mean?
I could believe that, certainly, it's just
And
that
but the delusion
this
of the thing that came between us or the thing that led to all of that was the speed title, and therefore I need to abolish the speed title.
yeah,
That's a good
that's not a bad story,
it's
I
not a
just
bad story. It's a
don't
way
think
to
she's
get
gonna win, that's the
it's a way
problem
to
with
get
it.
around the fact that Soul isn't there anymore because the Soul is now like personified by the belt, even though that sounds kind of funny. And then so I already got rid of Soul. Now I'm gonna pretend that the belt is Soul and I'm gonna get rid of her too. But also, like, if you want to talk about, like, I know this isn't like a mental health discussion, but if you want to treat it like a mental health discussion for a second, Callie Armstrong denying her that kind of like storyline closure is a really good motivating factor
Oh,
because
yeah, certainly, it works.
because now the speed title is gone and Zarya can never say that she's the one that did it. Does that make sense?
Certainly. Yeah, no, that makes
All
a
right. But
great
I
deal
think
of
Kelly
sense,
Armstrong,
but
I don't, and I know I've seen her wrestle. I know I've seen her physically on my TV screen. I don't know much about her. And it's one of those I haven't seen very much, but what I've seen I like. It's like Alice Crowley on MLP for those out there that are watching MLP.
yeah.
She's actually from Juggalo Championship Wrestling, but we won't hold that against her. I've seen her like a total of 3 times, and it's one of those I haven't seen enough yet, but what I have seen I already like. Callie Armstrong is a very similar story in that regard. Even though I'm a really big fan of Zarya, and I think she's carrying herself like 10 feet tall since Sol Ruka left. Ren Sinclair, again, is another one of those if you like her, she's the, sort of like the lovable, feel good character that people will like regardless, and that's not going to change with her not having a type.
Yeah,
I do think she's kind of stuck in this I'm Kendall Gray's friend role right now.
yeah.
And I don't know how you get around that unless Kendall Gray loses her title, which we'll talk about in a second, and they
Mm,
move forward as a tag team,
yeah,
which
which
wouldn't hurt my feelings either, by the way. Kendall Gray and Ren Sinclair, if you want to keep them as a team, you can throw them up on the main roster and bolster that division as
I think
um
they shouldn't turn on each other. You get enough of that
no,
at this
no,
point,
no, no, no.
and she is
But
injured,
they
so
haven't
we'll
really
get
been
there.
a
But
they've been a tag team a couple times, but really like their singles start like they come out with their own individual singles titles.
yeah,
They're I don't know what would you say like Triple H and Randy Orton, like the world title and the Intercontinental are not a tag team, but they're in
no,
a team and they're both champions. I would like to see them sort of invert that, and if she does lose the title, again, we'll talk about it in a second. Um, have them solidified as a tag team with goals as a tag team is different than what they're doing right now. Because
certainly.
right now she's Kendall Gray's friend.
Yeah, and
And
she doesn't need to be in the
everybody's
main title picture, and that's also why I
yeah.
wanted her to win the North American title, so she's
Mhm.
more on the
Okay.
level of Kendall.
Maybe I'm losing my mind a little because I thought you were not so high on Ren Sinclair.
I do like
But
Ren Sinclair. Yeah, I
okay.
the Ren QCC, all of it. I've always enjoyed her. I love her little
Mm.
Ren's Day things that she does.
Oh
Her
yeah.
I like,
Mm. So
but
you're going with Ren. I'm going with Callie. Even though I
yeah,
really like Zarya, nobody's picking Zarya in this pod.
no.
This is where we
Sad
need
that
some.
that's the case.
This
Kalani
is where we
Jordan,
need some
I
other
like as a
people
face, but
to
not as
come
a
in and
heel. But
break the tie.
I
Just saying.
know
Just putting it out there to some certain people that the door is open.
absolutely.
Um, moving swiftly on. Kendall Gray, Kalani Jordan. For the same reason that I just mentioned, I'm going with
Yeah.
Kalani.
All right. Kendall Gray's going to retain, but it's going to be a close one. I think she's not losing it just yet. Um, I think the story is Ren's going to win and she's going to win, and then they're going to set up the next big bad for them to face. That's going to be I don't see Kalani Jordan getting the title yet, possibly even at all. She was the
I
TNA
really,
champ. She didn't light the
I
world
really
on
want to see
fire.
her. I Here's the thing, right? They've sort of cooled off on the crossover with TNA a little bit for now. When that was in the heat of it, Kalani Jordan walking around NXT as TNA champion and kind of looking around being like, I'm the champion, whatever.
Yeah.
It was kind of a casting call for what she would be like as champion. I love her as a heel. Um, I think that she's only going to get better. Like she's not final form as a heel by any stretch of the imagination. Um, Ironically, very much like the champion over on the other side, Xia Brookside, as a heel, is not fully where she's going to be when she fully develops the heel character. But it's like again, I'm gonna keep going back to the same well of I'm seeing really good stuff and I'm seeing those little tabs that, I wanna pull the tab and I wanna see more
Yeah.
of like, this is going to be fantastic one day, which makes it sound like I'm saying it's not fantastic already. I think
No,
she's
I get you.
underrated and I think she's insanely underrated in the ring. I
Okay.
think there's a small handful of people that still go back to the, "Oh, yeah, well, in the early days, she was just coming to the ring as Dana Brooke's sidekick, and Dana Brooke was just, a fucking
No.
Barbie doll and
Yeah,
whatever." And
I
I'm like,
know she's good. I'm just not crazy
"Mm,
about the heel character personally.
yeah, yeah.
I want to see. I liked her better as a face. I'm not that convinced with the Mean Girl act, but she's
Mm,
damn good in the ring. I never denied
mm."
that. That's for certain.
And she's one of those people, and we talk a lot about, "Oh, this happened and this happened," and then all of a sudden this person looked 10 feet tall. Kalani Jordan's not a big person,
Yeah.
but she does a very good job of not necessarily like promo wise, but in the ring, she makes herself bigger, like in the way that she moves, in the way that she wrestles, in the way that she presents herself. So it's all almost like this little haha, you thought it was this, but it's this. Like there's a little bit of that in every matches.
Yeah.
Um, the sort of overlooked right now, Kendall Gray is like the peak of the women's division as far as like in-ring work goes. And then you've got people that are super over like Jada Park, got monsters tossing people around like Zarya and Callie Armstrong. You've got like ridiculous, and I mean ridiculous in a good way, characters like Lizzie Rain and all that kind of thing. And you could almost forgive somebody for saying, "Oh yeah," and then there's And I think that she has sunk her teeth into that and sort of, without really saying it, kind of been like, "Oh, yeah, you pick this person and this person and this person, but fuck off, I'm not going anywhere."
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's what
So,
that's what I get from her is like, "Oh, she doesn't really have a slot." Well, fuck you, I'm gonna take a slot.
yeah, I'm gonna
Um,
earn this. Oh, wait, I don't need to because I already did.
yeah. And she's been was she the first? She was the first. She was the first North
Yes, first
American
North
women's
American
champion.
champion. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'll
She's
do it
been the
myself,
TNA
kind of thing.
champion,
Like, yeah,
and that's why I say it's kind of funny for me to talk my way around it. She didn't light the world on fire in TNA, but the way that she
no.
presented herself as TNA champion when she was on NXT TV was was solid, in my opinion.
See, I think part of
Um,
the problem too is she got dwarfed by Stephanie and Julia and
mm.
Jordan and kind of everybody like that at that point in time too. Kind
But
of.
in the same way that we would have said about JC Jane, you know, your current new US, is she the US champion? No, she's not the US champion, is she? I'm
Right?
losing my mind.
Not yet.
I'm, I'm losing my mind. Anyways, oh no, she is, because we call them the golden influence.
Hmm.
But the same way that JC Jane, and it took a while to get there, she was the one that sort of had to meander through, oh my God, here's Zarya, and here's Jordan Grace, and here's Julia, and here's, you know, Stephanie Vacour, and haha, fucker, but who's holding the title?
Yeah,
I don't,
exactly.
and I don't want to see, oh, JC Jane did this, so just copy it. But like Kalani Jordan is on her way to having that type of thing. You thought it was going to be anybody else, but fuck you, it's me. And she's
Yeah,
tiny, so when she holds up the belt, it's going to be
she gets
adorable.
to.
Everybody going to go fill their special sock. It's fine. Don't worry about it. And like I say, Kendall Gray, Ren Sinclair, tag team division, maybe on the main roster. Maybe they're the NXT team that gets to actually properly fight for those titles that are supposed to be on all three brands. That could also be a thing.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I think you could build them strongly as a team, because I don't think Ren Sinclair is going to be in the world title picture. So give her something different, like a new direction, and Kendall Gray will help her along with that. And she can, like I say, slowly shed the idea of, hi, I'm here too, and I'm Kendall's friend, which
hmm,
is nice and it's
yeah. They're doing
positive,
more.
and it's like early days Bailey type stuff, but you know, Bailey had to turn. I don't think Ren Sinclair doing a heel turn is going to be very convincing. Like, everybody loves her anyways. Like, I'm turning heel. Oh no, you're fine.
Yeah, just having her,
All right,
smash some cake.
main event. Oh, pause on all that. Um, fucking lost my train of thought now.
Main event
Smashing
time.
all the cakes.
Just
Smashing all.
smashing it.
This is such a wild main event.
Yes.
It is.
They managed to
Tony D.
rehab the main event scene super quick, huh? Because it was not
They
working
sent
with
in. They
Naraka.
sent in. They sent in Grayson Waller to say, "Guys, what the fuck's going on? The women are like running circles around you." And then they said, "All right." But I love. Do you know? Excuse me. Anyways, you know what I mean by like pulling from the four corners? You got
Yep.
Tony D, who is like, in the past little while, Mr. NXT. You got Grayson Waller, who's come back down from the main roster. Now, realistically, they didn't have anything for him because the New Day left, and then they had their little animated temper tantrum. It's fine, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
But from a presentation point of view, here's Grayson Waller from the main roster. Here's Cruz Montana, because his name is Cruz Montana, from our
Tony
friends over at
Montana.
TNA, and then you got Zilla Fatu, who was a name on everybody's lips for a little while, and then all of a sudden he became bad because he signed with WWE, because you know, we're all little Michael Sidgwicks around here. Moving swiftly on. I've seen
Oh.
Zilla Fatu wrestle exactly one time, and can you guess where it was?
No, I have no clue. Damn it. You figure I would get this by now,
It
all
was at
these
Destiny
years.
Wrestling. Check it off your
Oh,
Spaz Phoenix bucket list. Yeah, it's fine. It was the
nice.
same. It was the same show that I met Simon Miller at, who's almost the
See?
exact opposite of Michael Sidgwick. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Um, but yeah, so to have one solid NXT guy, one main roster guy, one TNA guy, and one guy from the quote indies, uh, collision course, right? Like, this is a collision of characters for sure. Collision of like where we are. Tony D'Angelo is clearly a character. Grayson Waller is clearly a character. Zilla Fatu is very hyper and
Yes.
looks like he'd be exhausting to hang out with. And what I said about Cruz Montana, Mike Santana, whatever, on his first night is still kind of true. He's one of the only people that walks around NXT and feels like a real person.
Yeah.
And I thought it would be jarring, and it is jarring, but it's working.
It is certainly working.
Like the way that he used to come out like at a TNA show from like the top of the stadium and kind of like do the shield entrance type of thing when he was cutting promos or whatever. Now he can't do that in the performance center because it's okay. You climb to the top of the bleachers and
Yeah.
okay now you're at the ring, but he still makes it work. Like he still paces himself. Like he's not a rookie. It's all those cliche things you could say, but like I've got this many steps to get from here to there, and this is what I need to say by the time that I get there. Like it's old shoe stuff for him.
Exactly. Yeah.
They've intentionally positioned Zilla Fatu to only be the guy jumping in the ring at the last minute and bopping somebody with the friggin' like Superman Samoan spike gimmick. Grayson
Yeah.
Waller is another guy. This is probably going to be like my catchphrase of the evening. The guy's always been insanely underrated in the ring because he's more character than wrestler.
Yeah.
But I think he's fantastic. I think sticking him. Okay, people are going to freak out when I say this. This is not a dig at the New Day. There's a lot of digs I could take at the. They're going to be introduced in the kickoff at All In. We'll talk about it later. Uh, where was I going with that? Yeah. So the New Day, big act, huge act, powerful act, popular act, whatever the case may be. Oh, anybody would love to be stuck in a storyline with the New Day, except it's just the New Day hanging out backstage with big hats and Grayson Waller being their friend that's like almost invited to the party. The fuck are we doing?
Yeah, exactly. What are we doing here, folks? Come on.
But I mean, like at the same time, I don't think Grayson Waller would have joined the Vision. So
No, certainly not. Not happening.
and I know like the bloodline is a family, but it's not one of those kind of families where like 25 people get invited to the cookout. Mr. Callus with the bum on your forehead. Um, I don't know how we get there,
Yeah.
but Zilla's winning, and the story going forward is Zilla and
So it's a good story, and I think it's gonna be where Cruz Montana, Montoya, Tony Montana gets his head and blow and goes ahead and wins. So Tony D would be
Okay.
moving up shortly. Um, I mean, Santana, Montoya, Montana went ahead and said, I'm the one here to, knock heads. You guys are just here to chit chat. Let's get this done kind of deal. I
I
I
will say I love
He's all
NXT.
business.
I love NXT, but the Heatwave Summit, what the fuck was that? We're going to come out and talk about our match, but also this match is happening. Hey, did you know we're in a match too? Now let's
Yeah.
conveniently divide the ring and have the ladies fighting on one side and the men fighting on the other side.
And
What are we doing?
and the way he tore
Um,
apart the women too. You're, great to look at, but annoying to listen to. I'm like, Jesus, buddy. Shots fired. It was
well, it's
something though.
it. You can brush that aside in the sense of like, look, I know this summit for this pay per view coming up on Sunday, but one of us is in the main event and one of us is.
Yes, exactly. So hey,
It's gonna be a problem for somebody, and that somebody is you.
it's not me. Yeah, Montana's winning. That's all there is to it in my
Mhm.
book because Grayson Waller can still win. He's the heel. They can continue this. And Zilla's going, I think, to win eventually, but just not yet.
See, and I've got like it's so funny that you see it in such a clear way, and I see it in such a clear way, and I think it's kind of going in different directions. I see like the four of them in this match. Tony D is going up, Grayson Waller's going down, Montana and Zilla are going to keep fighting. I think Tony D goes to SmackDown. If I was to put a bet on it, I think Grayson Waller is the next sort of big achievement thing that they can throw at Miles Bourne. because I think that's
Yes.
an interesting combination that I would love to see in the ring. And I think going forward, because is Zilla a heel? I mean, I know he said some shit to the ladies and whatever, but like, is he a heel or is he just a dick?
I
Because there
think
is
he's
a
just a
difference.
dick. I don't think he's a heel,
Yeah,
honestly.
because I think him coming in all hyper and some might say spastic, but then again, some other people might say that that's offensive, but that's
Oh.
because they're salty. That's because they're salty. They're the only negative person working in a very positive company. Love some of them, don't like that guy. Um, but he comes in there and he's very what's the word I'm looking for? Like the number one thing they wanted you to come away from his debut with very chaotic, right? A fatal four way is a very chaotic situation, right?
Yeah.
You figure a chaotic person's gonna flourish in a chaotic situation. Zilla Fatu can, even if it's a banana peel type win, even if he's gonna pin Grayson Waller, um, Zilla Fatu walking out of a multi-person, schmosh type match. When we get to the point where Cruz Montana, formerly Mike Santana, picks up the title and is the guy, I think it's going to be in a much more true to form one-on-one. Here's your wrestling match for the wrestling title type match.
Yeah.
So, like, if we were closer to WrestleMania season, I would say this fatal four way is happening so that we can get that one-on-one match at Stand and Deliver. Oi, oi, oi.
Yeah,
But again,
exactly.
I think you see Tony D'Angelo on SmackDown. Again, don't really know why, but I just kind of feel it in my gut, in my bones. And Grayson Waller can float around the roster, but yeah, I didn't realize it until I saw the card in front of me. I kind of really want to see Grayson Waller versus Miles Bourne.
That would be fun.
So I'm
And
going Zilla, you're going Montana.
yes.
I'm going Kalani, you're going Kendall.
Yes.
I'm going Callie, you're going Ren.
Yes.
I'm going Vanity Project takes it, or you're going Vanity Project takes it all.
Six.
I'm going Vanity Project takes the L.
Yes.
We're both going Jada Parker.
Mhm. That's the only one
We
we
don't
agree
know.
on there. Because
We
we
don't
always
know
agree
who's
on
what.
everything, Spaz.
Oh, of course, because we're all paid shills for each
Mm.
other, and I don't make money. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Um, Gauntlet match on AAA. We really don't know. I'm saying La Catalina. Wild surprise like Bailey. Awesome.
Would be cool.
I'm going War Raiders. You're going Americanos.
Yes.
El Canacero is gonna win his debut match against TBA. It's fine. Damian Priest is winning the AAA Latin American Championship. I don't think anybody does that.
Nope.
You're going Nathan Frazier. I'm going Mini Vikingo.
Yes.
And the Lucha Brothers plus one are beating Perros Del Mal.
Yes.
All right.
And that's where we are. So we agree on just a couple this time. Just
We
a
agree
just a couple.
on less than half.
Yeah. So
Yeah, but we're all shills apparently.
I know. All we do is
Yeah.
agree.
And I'm a grifter, and I'm like, I can't be a grifter. I don't make any money here. What are we doing?
It's not happening.
All right. Even with time constraints, we managed to preview 2 shows, 12 matches in total, even if we don't know. There's a lot of TBD going on.
Yes, a
Holy
lot of
shit.
TBD.
I will say between all 3 shows that are happening on Sunday, fine. Fantastic. Don't worry about it.
Hey, AAA's
Um,
TBD and AEW's DTD. Due to die.
uh,
Ah.
oh,
Oh, no.
but I still say with time constraints, we still did 12 matches on 2 different for Sunday with 1 more to come. Pause.
Yes.
And we've got time enough for me to throw it over to you, like I normally
Yes,
do on your
indeed. You
side, and where
can
they can find you.
go ahead and find me over on youtube.com/Jake DeMarco. Check out the newest song release, Possessed by You. And you can go ahead and listen to it this weekend wherever music can be streamed. And then, of course, we have our lovely return of UCR on Fridays, replacing the SmackDown review for now while they're taped this week and next week. We've got our live show in the Discord, so we'll be watching All In and both heat waves in the Discord. Come hang out with us and check out the shows. It won't be live on the YouTube channel until after All In for the review, so don't miss it. It's going to be a great time. We hope to see you all then. Thank you, as always, to Spaz. Make sure you're liking and subscribing. Congrats to him for hitting over 2,000 subscribers, buddy.
Bam. We did it twice. We hit 2,000. We went back down. We hit 2,000 again. It's not about the setback. It's about the get back. One last
That's right.
question, because I'm going to forget to ask it tomorrow. when we start All In on Sunday, when that show is over, is it still going to be Sunday?
Yes.
Okay.
They have a curfew. They have to be done by 10:30 their time.
And they can't use pyro, which is amazing. You
Yeah,
guys know where to find me.
allegedly.
Actually, there is a hangout set up for SmackDown, but that will have passed already because you're listening to this after SmackDown. I will set up a hangout for AAA. There's already a hangout set up for all day Sunday. Keep it on here. Watch your feeds and your subscription notifications and all that kind of thing. After we're done this, we will hopefully, schedules aligning, schedules agreeing, we will be doing this year's edition of the yearly tradition AEW All in the Mud, aka What the Fuck Is This Show 2026. That will go up sometime before AAA. I don't know because I don't know how long it's going to be. Keep watching your feeds. Thank you guys for getting me over 2,000. Thank you, Jake, for being a big part of that. Subscribe up there, talk down there, start a conversation, keep all these conversations going. Don't be a stranger. I'll talk to you later. That's what we do right now.